Hello, you all. So, I'm sure you heard it was announced yesterday by my governor, Gavin Newsom, that he will be lifting some of our stay at home restrictions so we can start to open back up, of course, safely and securely. Um, and he probably thought this was going to be a good thing, but it's not going over too well for him, and we're going to talk about why. So, Gavin Newsom has been highly criticized throughout the entire pandemic for his handling of the lockdowns. And some of that is because we are one of the states with the strictest lockdowns, which have shuttered a lot of our businesses. You have stories of people becoming dependent on alcohol, becoming dependent on drugs, people taking their own lives, not to mention, and I don't even think we're going to know this until a few years, what the full effect of our kids are for having them out of school for this long, not around their friends and at home. And again, I don't think we're going to fully know the effect on our kids until the coming years, which I feel bad for them. I'm so thankful I'm not school age during this time. I can't imagine what that would have done. I would have really, really, really not have liked to be home with my parents that much. Anywho, so people are criticizing his handling of this. One of those being he was telling everyone to stay home. He shut down all of our restaurants, and pictures came out of him at the French Laundry, which is one of the most expensive restaurants, I think, in the US. And he was there with like 10 or 12 other people. They were not social distancing, they were not wearing masks, they were not outside. So, him, just like Nancy Pelosi, has been caught going against his orders. A lot of people were very critical of them for making everyone stay home. You're not allowed to go anywhere, yet they praised the BLM protests and all the protests that happened over the summer. One of our biggest protests, we had 20,000 people walking down the street while we're being told that we have to stay home and not go to work. 20,000 people were allowed to walk down our streets, not socially distancing, a lot of them not with masks on, and we were told that's totally fine. It doesn't spread there. It only spreads at the mom and pop restaurant where you're sitting 6 feet away. So a lot of people were critical over that. His last shutting down of the restaurants. So our restaurants at first were completely shut down, and then they were allowed to do outdoor dining. So they did that for several months. A lot of restaurants spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars getting outdoor heating lamps, plexiglass, PPE equipment, stuff so that they could open safely and securely and go with the state guidelines. They spent all this money just to be told right before one of their busiest weekends right before Thanksgiving, that they were actually going to have to completely shut down again, banning outdoor dining, which was devastating to a lot of these restaurants. And the biggest criticism of that as well, one of the biggest criticisms of that was there was no data to back this up. There was no data that showed that we were getting surges from people at restaurants. There was a list of top 10 places where people were contracting COVID. One of those was at grocery stores, federal buildings. Restaurants were not even in the top 10. So people were really upset about this. We never got answers. He told us that he would not be releasing any data to us, so he's not being transparent. It's just a lot of things going on at once. It's not looking good. There's a group of restaurant people and wineries that are suing him. The recall effort is gaining momentum, and it's right after the election. So people are pushing back a little bit and asking questions. I took these screenshots off the New York Times. They keep daily numbers. And look at this. So this is from December 7th. This is in California. So we're being told that it's because of our numbers of why we're having to shut down. So we shut down our restaurants. I believe it was right before Thanksgiving, and then we had a brand new really strict stay-at-home order that went into effect on December 7th. And look at our cases. So you see new daily cases, which is high. New daily cases is high. It's 27,000, but the 7-day average is 23,000. And then you have January 24th, which was Sunday night, when we heard he was going to announce on Monday how he's going to start to open things back up again. So you see January 24th, new cases 21,600, so that did go down. But look at the 7-day average, 25,500. So that actually went up. And if you look Actually, first, let me read this to you. Okay, so this is Bill from Fox LA. This was yesterday, and a lot of times they'll go to these press conferences with Newsom, and they'll ask questions and tweet out what they're saying. So this is from Barbara Ferrer. She's our LA County Health Director, and Bill says he works with Fox LA. He says, a reporter just asked Dr. Ferrer if LA County feels vindicated for banning outdoor dining because he says COVID transmission numbers dropped immediately afterward. That's literally not true at all. Our numbers shot up like a missile afterwards and things got really bad. For instance, our new case average had to be 4,500 over 5 days to trigger a new stay-at-home order in late November. Weeks later, our cases were over 20,000 plus daily. We had a massive explosion/surge over that December/January window of time. And he's right. Again, this is the full screenshot from the New York Times, and you can see, this is the beginning of December. So look at the beginning of December, around the 7th, around where you would imagine the 7th, see what happened after that? It completely shot up. So when we had the strictest stay-at-home orders that we have had during this whole time, our cases shot up. So it kind of makes you question. It's like, do these stay-at-home things work? If so, where's the number? Where's the data? And what Newsom is saying, so we are at January 25th, so we're at the very end of this, and you can see we're starting to go down, right? But our daily average or our weekly average is still higher. We are starting to go down, but you can actually see right before it cuts off, it goes up a little bit. And now he's saying that, well, now he's basing our reopening up of our economy based on a projection that's going to be happening within the next 4 weeks. The only issue is he's not releasing that data to us. He won't show us that data, which is causing even more mistrust. So there's that. Let me know what you think. I'm going to show you this video of Gavin from yesterday in just a second. But I just found this really interesting, and I just want to show it to you. This is from Vox, who we know is super left-leaning. It says, some Silicon Valley donors' next political fight trying to oust California's governor. And in the article, it goes on talking about how a lot of Silicon Valley people are starting to see the effects of their business. And a lot of these people who actually donated to Gavin Newsom's campaign before he got elected, not a lot of these people, but some of these people are actually donating to his recall effort because they're realizing what we all already know, I guess. But I want to read you a part. So Ann Dunsmore, she's a Republican fundraiser who's helping to get funds for the Recall Gavin Newsom effort, and apparently they already raised about $1.5 million. A lot of donors have come out of Silicon Valley. But I just want to read you a short little paragraph. So Dunsmore said the fundraising effort in Silicon Valley consisted largely of major donors reaching out to other major donors. A Newsom recall effort seemed like a fool's errand until recently. Actually, that's not what I wanted to read you. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. So Ann Dunsmore, a Republican fundraiser who is leading the recall effort, said that this is precisely the type of Silicon Valley donor she is pursuing. So she's looking at all these big donors, and she said, it's a cautious industry, and historically, it's been very democratic. Now, when you start talking about lost business in the state of California and facing the idea that you might have to move out and move your entire business, people start taking a different view of where they stand. And I've been seeing that a lot, like crazy in California. I say Newsom is the great unifier. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Libertarians, non-voters, we're all kind of on the same page with him. So we'll see how the recall effort goes. Again, keep in mind that, yes, it has 1.2 million signatures, but only about 85% of those are valid. They have to be valid signatures. So they're going to need a lot more than that. But yeah, this week is not looking, it might light a new fire under people's rear ends to sign that petition. That being said, let me show you this little video of Gavin. So this was at a press conference, and you'll hear the question and then look at his reaction, and we'll talk really quick after this.
You're saying this online, that This decision today comes amidst a recall campaign, comes amidst lawsuits, and they say that the timing on this is arbitrary and convenient based off of that. I want to give you a chance to respond to people that are saying that.
Yeah, it's just complete, utter nonsense. So let's just dispense with that fundamental, foundationally nonsense. So that's no.
I don't think there's much to say there, and that is the problem. He just brushes it off and doesn't defend himself. He doesn't give his case. He doesn't say why it's silly. He doesn't say why he's dismissing it. He just does. We don't deserve an explanation, just like we don't deserve to see the actual data. Maybe we're not smart enough. I don't know, but that's the problem with him and a lot of politicians who are like him, and there are a lot of politicians like him who they just think that they're smarter than their constituents, and they seem to forget that they are in a position, they are servicing their country. They service the people that voted for them. There's a reason these people voted. You are serving those people. You're serving the public. And I don't know, they're just getting a little bit too big for their britches. And so we'll see what happens with that. Let me know what you guys think. All right, bye.